Hi everybody, welcome to Hello MD Live. I'm your host, Eliza Maroney, and today we're going to be talking about motherhood. In honor of Mother's Day, we actually have an amazing show planned for you all discussing self-care and how important that is. So many people think that self-care means getting the occasional pedicure or a massage. Ultimately, it really means a lifestyle. So today we have amazing guests with us that I'm so excited to introduce to you. We have two incredible mompreneurs who are finding the balance between work, family, and self-care. We also have a self-care bundle that is going to be available on the Hello MD website all the way through Sunday. We have Wildflowers Vaporizer, Juna's amazing tincture, as well as Vertley's lip balm. This is all available on our site for 30% off through Sunday, but throughout the show we'll be doing several giveaways of our Wildflower vape pen. This is a minty, refreshing, amazing vape that can really rejuvenate you and make you feel just as amazing as you should all day long. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guests, which we're so excited to introduce. First, I have Jill Dailey here from the, Jill Dailey here, the renowned Jill Dailey of the Dailey Method. She's a true innovator and is part of the bar fitness revolution worldwide. So thank you for being here, Jill.
Absolutely, happy to be here.
We also have Enid, Viana, a mom of 3 happy kids. Enid left the finance world to start the EV Social that has blossomed into an authoritative lifestyle brand, while simultaneously running her podcast, Culturally Beautiful. Enid is a wellness fanatic as well as an avid runner, and she's also a candid CBD advocate. So welcome, ladies. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So Jill, we'll start with you. Please tell our viewers a little bit about the Dailey Method and what they can expect and how you got to, really beginning something so brand new and fresh.
Yeah, thank you. I started, I've always really been passionate about movement and danced a lot growing up. Went to college, got a degree in kinesiology. When I graduated, I moved to the Bay Area and started teaching Pilates. Not very many people knew what Pilates was at the time, so I did that and personal training for a while and kind of fell into the Lottie Burke method, which I absolutely loved. It was a bar-based method in New York, and decided to open up my own bar studio. It was the first on the West Coast, and did that in 2000. And I, ever since, it just became, everybody wanted it. I thought I'd have my one little studio, and my clients wanted me to open in Marin, they wanted to open in the East Bay, and it just really organically grew into a franchise business. And through that, I've just become so passionate about alignment and really helping people have their best body, be their best selves within this, and I love it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so we have studios across the world. We have in Paris and Canada and across the United States. We also have an online component that you can do out of your own home. Anywhere you live, you can do the Dailey Method.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, it's a very efficient workout.
Oh, it's very efficient.
So it's perfect for moms that are kind of on the go and in need of a full body workout. And something that they can really make sure that they're exercising their entire body in 1 hour, correct?
It is, and some of our class formats are 45 minutes.
Okay.
And it really is, like, we have really focused on, we base it on alignment and foundation, but really training every single muscle in the body in a very balanced way. So we do front body work, back body work, rotation. So it's very functional, and really efficient, because I know I don't have time to work out 2 hours a day. I can sometimes, I own fitness studios, and I can sometimes only get in 3 or 4 times a week, and it can do the trick with that, just that.
Amazing. Yeah. And did I hear that you have childcare available as well?
We do. I mean, I started that in the very beginning when I had my kids, and it was awesome. I could take my kids to work with me, and they grew up in the childcare, and so it's a great offering for moms. We also, some of the studios have formats that are Daily Baby, where you actually can bring your baby to work with you and work out with you. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Thank you for your background on that. It's really, really inspiring to see a mom who really is doing it all, right? And how many kids do you have again?
3.
3.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Almost all teenagers.
Not
yeah.
just 1 or 2.
No.
You have 3 of them. So moms, it's possible to do this. And Enid, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and kind of your story about the EV Social? And we'd love to hear more about your podcast.
Yes, of course. So I started the EV Social 2.5 years ago. I left Wall Street after 12 years to have my first child, and I was a stay-at-home mom. I know how hard that is, ladies, because I did it for 2.5 years. Believe me when I say working full-time and having 3 kids is actually easier than being a stay-at-home mom. I started the EV Social, which was a digital media company at first, and then it has evolved into a podcast. I'm launching a wellness product that comes out in 12 to 15 weeks, and I also run pop-ups in the Hamptons all summer long.
Amazing. So much fun. And you also have 3 young children, though.
6, 4, and 2. The struggle is real.
And so tell us a little bit about CBD and how you now incorporate it into your life and what brought you to using CBD.
Okay. So CBD was introduced into my life kind of as a response to me feeling very overwhelmed very often. And I was talking about it with all of my friends and all of my, nobody really was suggesting any solutions that I felt were viable with my lifestyle. So finally, one of my best friends who lives on this coast, actually, she suggested some THC-based products, which I didn't feel were necessarily vibing with, my day-to-day. So she brought up CBD oil to me, and then I, at that point, was not educated. I had no idea that it was hemp-derived. So I thought that it was THC-derived. So I kind of dismissed it, but it planted a seed in my head. Fast forward to this summer, I spend my summers in East Hampton, on the east end of Long Island, and I was shopping in my favorite apothecary, and I came across CBD oil again. So I kind of saw it as a sign. So I bought it, started using it, and noticed a difference right away. So I loved it, and it pretty much has transformed how I parent, how I just live my life, and it has really improved and enhanced everything.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Well, for those of you who are not so familiar, Wildflower is giving us their products for our giveaway throughout this entire show. So if you're interested in winning, make sure that you drop us a comment, say hello, let us know where you're from, perhaps let us know how you are taking care of yourself and what your regimen looks like. And then be sure to share this link on your social media so that we can have others learn about CBD and wellness. And if you're not familiar, CBD is either hemp-derived or cannabis-derived. All of the products that we're talking about today is hemp-derived. It contains less than 0.03% of THC, and essentially what that means is that it won't get you high. I think a lot of people are afraid of the intoxicating effects of THC, and that's very true. You know, you should be wary of anything that is going to intoxicate you. So CBD is a very, very safe alternative, and so many people say that it helps them with anxiety, stress relief, insomnia, as well as any other pain that they're feeling throughout their body. So be sure to drop us a line and let us know if you're interested. And Jill, you're smiling. I'd love to hear your thoughts on CBD, and have you ever used it?
Yeah, I've used it topically quite a bit with muscle pain and even muscle spasms. I've used it. Really interested in the tincture. A little hesitant about vaping, just having teenage kids. You know, I don't really want to promote the smoking, but I think it's a great product, and I'm excited to explore it more.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And for any of you who have any questions for us regarding these products or what to expect, feel free to also drop a comment and let us know what your questions are. Or if you have any questions in particular for Enid or Jill, we're here to answer them today. We want to know what your thoughts are on wellness and really hear about your tips and tricks as well, because I'm pretty sure I can speak for all of us ladies. We have a lot to learn still.
Yes, still have a lot to learn.
Yes. And it looks like we have our very first winner already. They dropped a hashtag, which is Moms Multitask 2. And I think that's adorable. So congratulations to S. Dunn Lopez. We are so excited to get you your wildflower vape. It's going to be really awesome to incorporate that in your daily routine. And hopefully you'll be enjoying that. So ladies, let's get back to our conversation. And I think actually we wanted to have a little demonstration of one of the Dailey Method classes. So we're actually going to set up a mat here, and Enid has graciously volunteered, or should I say agreed, to be our model. So Jill, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about what you guys are going to be doing today?
Okay, we're going to do a really quick workout. Something if you just need to energize quickly during the day. It's going to be a very full body, really quick. She's going to use a circular band, but you can do it without it. So it's just going to give her some resistance to help her with her stabilizing muscles of her legs and give her a little bit more work through the outer part of her legs. So you can start with your feet hip distance apart and make sure they're really parallel. So you're foundationing through your feet, and just 3 grounding breaths to start. Take a breath in, inhale, and exhale. Nice. Focus on lengthening through the sides of your waist as you inhale and just presenting yourself in your body. 1 more deep breath in. We're going to start with a warm up and a parallel squat. So bring your hands to your heart and sit down low. So sit down low. Yeah, there you go. You get to stay there. I don't have to stay there. Now think about the energy of shins in, thighs out. So you're pressing your legs out a little bit to make sure that you're keeping your knees tracking right over the center line of your feet. And then just do a little down an inch, up an inch. Yes. This is going to work already. This is going to work your quadriceps and your seat. If you have the circular band too, it's going to help you find the muscles that engage, that align your knees on the inner and outer part of your thighs. You can do that a couple more times, and then we're going to take it up into a full range of motion. So just do it 5 more times. Press your hands together and lift your heart up into your hands. 2, and then from here you're going to stand up, take your leg and take it out to the side, and then come back down. As you do it, keep your legs straight. Yes, so try to keep your right leg straight as you lift it. And just do this 8 times. You don't need this very much. It's a lot of resistance, right? You have 4 more. You're doing great. 3. 2 more times. Lift it up.
Harder than
the last one, you're going to balance. Hold it there and find your balance. Balance is really important in life, and I don't think we do it enough in classes, so we always make sure we incorporate balancing into the Dailey Method. Come back down. You're going to do it on the other side. So come back down to your squat, and then you're going to, poof out of the way, lift your leg. Come down. You're going to do that 7 more times. Nice. So you're keeping your abdominals engaged here. And with her movement, she's trying to keep her spine in neutral. Keep going. You have 4 more. So the neutral is the natural curves of your spine, and it really helps your body with alignment and to engage the core. You can do 1 more time and you get to balance here. There you go. You do yoga, don't you? Lift up a little more. You have 4 counts. 3, 2, come back down, and just 20 more here. Down and up. So when I'm talking about neutral spine, it's actually having the natural curves of the upper back and the lower back and your neck all in alignment. It's going to help you with impact and just really helping strengthen the body in the right way. You're going to do 4 more. Press your legs out just a little bit. 2, 1 more time. 1 more deep breath in. And then exhale, come forward. And you're going to walk down the mat and come into a straight arm, straight leg plank. So alignment here, using your hands for foundation. You want the front of the shoulders with the front of the wrist. So walk your hands back just a tiny bit. And then you want the outside of your shoulders with the middle of your wrist. Soften your elbows a tiny bit. So here, her legs are straight, but you can also always do this on your knees. Keeping your body long, you're going to try to find neutral here. So you have the natural curve of the neck, of the upper back, and the low back. Take a breath in and lengthen the sides of your waist. And as you exhale, pull your abdominals in. So this is super, super simple exercise, back of the head up to the ceiling, but it really actually engages all of the muscles of your body. You got 4 more breaths here. Are you feeling it?
Oh, yeah.
Get your legs a little bit straighter. You're doing so good. 2 more deep breaths.
Oh, so harder than it looks, you guys.
1 more breath. Nice. And then go ahead and come down onto your knees. Reach your arms forward and find extension through your upper back. So let your chest go to the floor and sits bones go wide. Yep. Just to get a little bit of release through your thoracic spine. And then you're going to come back and you're going to sit on the mat with your legs straight in front of you. And we're gonna do what's called seated neutral spine. I really think of this as a meditation on posture. So as you sit with legs hip distance apart and internally rotate your thigh bones in the pelvis a little bit, so that puts your thigh bones firmly into the hip joint, and then sit up as tall as you can. Take your arms forward. So in this, you're focusing on creating as much length in your spine as possible. So you're actually trying to create space between each vertebra. So as you inhale, lift up, crown of the head to the ceiling, keep pushing into my hand, yes. And then as you exhale, you're working your really deep abdominal muscles to stabilize and support that length in your spine. Take a breath in, inhale, lengthen. So this really helps strengthen your entire core. Relax your shoulders just a little bit. It's not stressful. Take a breath in, inhale, lift up. Now from here, you're gonna take this into an abdominal exercise. So keeping your spine in this position, you're just gonna pivot at the hips, hinge back as far as you can without changing your spine position. And then as you lift up, think of lengthening your spine as you go up and over. Inhale, lengthen back. And exhale, lift up, get longer, longer as you come up. Yes, so good. You have 6 more times. And lift. So the transverse abdominis, it actually wraps all the way around and it stabilizes basically your entire core, your entire spine. So that's the muscle that you're really primarily working here when you work your abdominals in a neutral position. You have 3 more times. Lift up, lead with your chest. And it's great when you smile when you work out too. One
Which
more
I
time.
never actually do when I'm working out.
No, stay there. So you're gonna hold it there. Take a breath in and lift your heart a little bit more, and then you're just gonna lift up an inch and back an inch. So that back inch is gonna be as far as you can go. Keeping your spine in neutral, and then just up an inch from there and back an inch. You have 4 more. 3. One more time. And come up. We're gonna just do 1 more exercise. So this is a reverse plank. Take your hands back behind you and have your fingers point forward. And then this time you're gonna put your legs together, internally rotate again, so your big toes touch. Bend your elbows, scoop your pelvis under, lift your hips as high as you can. So this is giving you the back body's strength. We use our front of our bodies so much when we move, and the back body doesn't often get as much attention, and it's really, really important for posture and to offset any kind of back pain to work the back body. So you're trying to do that here with this entire back body. So press your heart to the ceiling as high as you can. Beautiful. Open your chest out. So think about actually rolling your shoulders open. And then use your seat to press up. You see how Enid's keeping her neck in alignment? She's not letting her head drop back. She's keeping the crown of her head reaching forward. So she's actually maintaining those natural curves in her spine. You just have to hold this for 5 more minutes. Actually, you get to hold it for 10 more seconds. How's that? Press your hips a little higher. And nice. And then go ahead and sit down. Then just cross your legs into a comfortable seated position. Put your hands on your knees. Close your eyes. Always want to end with a little meditation, bringing it back to yourself. So just take 2 more deep breaths. 1 more. And you're done. You did it. High fives.
Absolutely. That was amazing. Enid, you know I have so many questions for you now. I want to hear all about it. And just so you guys know, we're just a few minutes away from our next giveaway. So be sure to drop us a comment, maybe ask a question about what you just saw here. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Once again, we're giving away the Wildflower Vape today. So this vape is really refreshing. It kind of has a little bit of a peppermint flavor to it. Very light and delicious, but it will not get you high, which is the most important.
Yes.
Speaking of high, how do you feel right now? Tell us.
Definitely feel elevated. I feel very charged. It was good. It got my heart rate up. I feel good.
Yeah.
I'm a little sweaty.
It's okay. It looked like it was a full body workout from what I saw.
Well, it's great. You really can work your whole body in a very short period of time. You don't need to work out for hours as long as you're really doing the right exercises for what our bodies need.
Yeah, and it's incredible how even a short workout like that can really get you in your body.
Yeah.
And as I like to say, in your body and out of your head.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's hard to think about the outside stress or laundry you need to do later when you're actually in the moment and you're really feeling what's going on, right?
Totally.
So was that a little bit transcendental, or do you feel a little bit more centered now?
I do.
Yeah. And so what do you recommend when people are looking to start, a new workout regimen, or if they're perhaps maybe wanting to try the Dailey Method from home?
Yeah. Well, you can try the Dailey Method on home, we have an online component. So if you go to the website, there's a link you can click online, and you can actually try it for 7 days for free. And there's all different links. So there's 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, full hour, and different formats. So one of the things that I really want it to be accessible to everybody. I know that sometimes fitness can be intimidating, and going into something that's too challenging might not work for you. So we have different classes on there. We start with the Daily Gentle. That is really for people that are new to exercise, coming back from an injury. We have Daily Basics, which breaks down and gives you a little bit more of the fundamental knowledge of the different exercises. And then we have bar, we have fusion, we have interval. So really anything, but the biggest thing about exercise is you have to do something that you're comfortable with and that's fun. Because if you're not enjoying it, why do it?
But it should push you a little bit.
Oh, it will. It will definitely push you. I mean, even the gentle classes are really challenging. We do a lot of cueing, so we try to make it as much in your body, out of your head as possible, that mind-body exercise. So you're focusing on what your body's doing, and you can't think about the laundry at home.
Or any of those things, or walking the dog, or that kid's, maybe not so stellar school report. You never know.
I think it's their dirty room.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you never know what there is when you're a mom. So, and it looks like actually we have our next winner, which is so exciting. Congratulations to Cosmic Stag 466.
Awesome.
Awesome. We're so excited that you just won yourself a Wildflower vape pen. It's their Immunity CBD vape. Enid, I think you mentioned that you've actually tried this one.
I have tried this one. It's a good one.
Yeah?
I like that vape a lot.
It's amazing. So congratulations. And to the rest of you who are tuning in, if you would like to get yourself the Immunity vape pen along with our other amazing items, we have our Juna tincture as well as the Vertly lip balm. Just remember, you can go right to hellomd.com and get this self-care bundle, 30% off all the way through Sunday. So, just a little reminder, take care of yourself and save a little money while you're at it, right? So I want to talk about CBD now, and I want to hear a little bit more, Enid, about what you use and maybe the types of products that you're even using.
Okay. So I mainly use tinctures. I use them in the morning and in the evening. They make different tinctures. I use one that is more for sleep in the evenings, and then one that helps me to focus for starting off my day.
Okay.
And I vape with Wildflower normally, or some of the other great vapes throughout the day.
Okay. And I think that, there's lots of concern about vaping. So maybe we can touch on this. And also, I would just like to let people know that vaping is different from smoking, although if you're doing it around your kids, you are giving them that same message. So that's something that every parent has to decide for themselves, whether they're going to vape around their kids. But it actually is a safer alternative to smoking because it doesn't actually fill your lungs with such a thick smoke.
Exactly.
So when you vape, how does it make you feel? Is it usually uplifting? Or?
Yes. So the delivery method is very quick. That's why I like to vape kind of throughout the day.
Yeah.
When I use the tincture, it usually hits me in like 15 minutes. I'll start to feel the relaxation, whereas with the vape, it's immediate.
Okay.
So, so that's why I choose that protocol. And I do not vape in front of my children. Because I don't necessarily want to send that message.
You don't need to, and that's totally fine. And, I think that it's interesting in mom culture, the standards are so high, and yet and still there is this incredible raging wine mom culture.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that? Jill, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it is a big culture. And, well, for me, I really feel like socially, it's great.
Yeah.
I've made the choice not to do it around my kids. When I'm with my kids and I'm home with them, I want to be present with them. So I do alternatives. I just like to do like a mocktail of kombucha and soda water. I have a friend that does a great juice that she does. She juices beets and ginger and puts lime in it and then soda water. And it's awesome, and you feel like you have this super fancy cocktail. It still feels celebratory. and relaxing. You're taking, a lot of the wine is, I'm going to just take a moment for myself. I'm going to do something for myself. So finding alternative ways to do that, I think, is great.
I love that. I'm going to have to try that later
Yeah.
tonight. I'm a huge fan of the mocktails, and I think that mocktails are making a pretty big comeback right now. They're gaining popularity. And I would imagine, are you ever adding any CBD to your mocktails, Enid?
I do.
Yeah.
I do infuse CBD sometimes to my morning matcha tea.
Nice.
Also to my seltzers.
It's a really
Totally.
easy way to actually consume CBD without it being so obvious. And also, sometimes you don't want to put these drops underneath your tongue, even though that is the most efficient way of using CBD oil. So sublingually is the fastest way for you to really take it into your system. It goes right into your bloodstream. It's fabulous. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit of a slower intake, I really think that the mocktails are making a pretty big turn right now. So it's exciting to see that happening. And let's talk a little bit more about your workout routines and meditation as well, because I saw that at the very end of your class right now, your very short little class, that you were encouraging some meditation. Is that something that's usually part of the Dailey Method?
Every class ends with a short meditation.
Okay.
We actually also have on our online component, we have some meditations that are guided by our meditation teacher, Lorna Samadas. And we also have, I meditate every day. I think it's super important. I do it sometimes in the morning. I do it sometimes at night. Sometimes I sit, sometimes I lie, sometimes I do guided meditations. Sometimes I just put my hand on my heart and breathe and call it a meditation. Try to incorporate it with my kids a little bit. I don't make them meditate, but sometimes when they're driving me crazy, I'll go in my room and I will meditate and hope that they're getting it by proximity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's just really important. It's helped me a lot with just being able to align with myself, get out of my head, calm down, be more present.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So many people think that meditating is hard to do or difficult, or it means that you need to empty your mind. And more often than not, it really just means to slow down.
Yeah.
And focus on what is happening around you. So, Enid, what about you? I think we heard that you do some meditation, correct?
I do. Yep.
And what do you usually do in order to set the space for you to meditate?
So I meditate as soon as I wake up.
Okay.
I use Insight Timer.
Okay. Which
There's
is
so
an app,
many.
right?
Yeah, there's so many apps. They don't sponsor me or anything, but yeah, it's just one of the many fun apps that you can use.
Cool.
Yep, I use guided meditations. They're really easy, depending on how much time I have, 5, 10, 15 minutes. I'll always just get one in. It starts, my day off. I say my mantra. I'm just focused for the day, and then you go.
I love it. I myself, I've talked about this in the past, but I teach a class called Ben and Blaze, which is a cannabis and CBD infused yoga class. And it's really interesting to see the difference in my students when it comes to the meditation portion of the class. If they've used CBD, it often helps them to actually calm down, calm their nerves. And also if they are in physical pain, if that quells some of their pain, it's easier to meditate. Because it's hard to focus on anything else when you are in physical or emotional pain, which happens, unfortunately, so often than not. And most people are living with a baseline of pain. So that's something to also keep in mind. And I'm guessing you sometimes, you are using CBD when you are meditating, yes?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll dose and then I'll meditate.
Okay, that's awesome. So everyone, we're just a few minutes away from our next giveaway. So if you would like to learn a little bit more about what it would be like to use CBD before you meditate or work out, we are giving away a Wildflower Immunity CBD vape pen. Once again, it's a little minty fresh, very uplifting, energizing, and we're really excited to get this to one of you. So if you would like to win, once again, drop us a comment, let us know your thoughts, or perhaps tell us your favorite type of workout. And then also share this link on your social media so that your friends can also learn about all the benefits of self-care and CBD. So let's talk a little bit more about the children. All right. And so how are you infusing your meditation with your kids, Enid?
Okay. So my kids are obviously very young and very hyper.
Yes.
As young kids are. And I use, when they see that I'm getting anxious, my oldest will kind of rally the troops, and he's like, Mommy, like, let's get your crystals. Do you need to meditate? Let's all meditate. So he's kind of the coordinator of all of that because he had been catching me doing it independently. So now he feels like he's the cheerleader of my other children and focuses us all on, you know, holding our crystals and meditating.
Okay.
So it's cute.
Crystals
and it works.
can really work, though.
Yes.
I actually happened to bring one of my selenite crystals today, and I think you brought one that you really love as well.
Yes, I love my amethyst.
Here we go.
It's amazing. It helps me so much, especially when I'm anxious, stressed out.
Mm-hmm. And so for those who may have never used a crystal during their meditation before, you know, the most basic way is to hold it, right? And to keep it in your hands and to really connect with the crystal, because all crystals come from the earth, and that means that they can be very grounding in their energy. Another way is if you are laying down or if you're in bed and you're feeling a certain way, if you are heartbroken, if you're anxious, it can be really helpful to put it on that space or that chakra as you're laying there and just trying to feel that energy and that groundedness. So just a little tip on that, because we both connected over really loving crystals. And there's no right or wrong when it comes to this, everyone. So just feel what's right for your body or for your energy, and let it take you where it's going to take you, right? Because meditation is a way to let go, not to be stressed over. Am I doing this right? Am I actively meditating? You know, there's no right or wrong.
There's not.
People feel that all the time, unfortunately.
They make it harder than it needs to be.
Right. It doesn't need to be so hard.
Not so hard.
And then another way, I actually wanted to bring my beautiful mala beads. A lot of people will see mala beads in the stores. This one is made with rose quartz, and they're great for mantras. Historically, they've been used for mantras. So if you are saying a mantra, you would say it on each bead until you get all the way to the other end. Typically, mala beads have 108 beads, a little fun fact there. And so that's a very sacred way to also meditate and to take the time. So just remember that there are so many ways that you can take care of yourself and slow down and really reflect on what all the good that is in life. Because, you know, even I think as a mom, a lot of people get overwhelmed. And there's so much to be thankful for.
Absolutely.
True.
So it looks like we have our next winner. We're so excited. The B-Man 420. If you are a guy, I hope you're giving this to a woman, or especially a mom who needs it. But congratulations, you just won the Wildflower Immunity CBD vape pen. So once again, everybody, if you are tuned in and you're trying to win today, and if you don't, you can still get the Wellness and Self-Care Bundle. We have our Juna, which is an amazing tincture. Have you used the Juna?
I have used it. It's really good.
Amazing. And then we also have Vertle's Lip Balm, which is just super luxurious, and it is infused with CBD because CBD makes everything better.
For sure.
And you know, we're getting a lot of questions that are coming in. Enid, very specifically, people are wanting to know if there are any brands or specific products that you endorse and that you really love.
Yes. So for tinctures, I have used Juna and I love. I also love Press Pause, and I love NYC Botanics. Those are kind of my go-tos.
Awesome.
NYC Botanics I use religiously.
Beautiful. And these are all hemp-based, correct?
All hemp-based, all 0.03% THC. So it's I'm from New York, so it's legal there. Yeah.
Awesome. And so you did talk a little bit about your regimen, but let's go a little bit deeper. I believe you said that you're using a little bit of a higher dose than typical, especially for nighttime use. Is that correct?
Right. So the typical bottle, and there's so many different schools of thoughts on CBD.
Okay.
Most CBDs, I would say 80% of them come in 500 milligram bottles.
Mm-hmm.
I normally use 1,800 milligrams. the bottle. I don't take the
All
whole bottle.
18 at once, yes.
I use that tincture in the morning, like a focus one or one that is more conducive to, propelling me forward and invigorating. And then for nighttime, I use a concentrated one that's more for like pain and sleep because I suffer from chronic lower back pain.
Okay.
I had borderline scoliosis as a child that never really got treated. So it's kind of a random thing. And that's 3,000 milligrams.
Okay.
However, I don't use all of the bottle in one day. I probably go through both of those tinctures in a month.
Okay.
So.
And for anybody who is a new CBD user, a typical starting dose is 25 milligrams of CBD. And you can go anywhere from 25 to 100 up to 200. The truth is that there's no danger in overdosing, although many do report that they feel sedative effects if they take a little too much CBD.
Yes, so you definitely will get overtired.
Yes. So just keep that in mind. Everything in moderation. Start low and go slow. That's always the mantra here at Hello MD. We want people to really find their magic dose, which means finding the least amount necessary for that desired effect. So whatever you're looking for, it takes a little bit of time to really find that, but it's magical when you do, right?
That's actually a good question. People always ask me, what's my dosage? And everybody's body is different, and everybody's endocannabinoid system is different.
Yes.
So.
And it's important to experiment a little bit, but to really start low and take your time with it. And also, it can take between 30 minutes and an hour for it to actually kick in.
So you can be careful and just chill out for a second, because once it hits you, there's no going back.
Absolutely. You can always add more, but you can't take it away once it's in your system.
True.
So we want to remember that. So ladies, we also had another question that came in about what are some of your favorite ways of implementing self-care? So what are some of your tips before we, wrap up this show soon?
Yeah. So, self-care is super important. We can't take care of other people if we're not taking care of ourselves. And for me, like I said, I own a fitness business.
Yes.
And sometimes it's hard for me to exercise. So I really figure out, like, exercise is important to me, meditation is important to me, and one-on-one time with my kids. And so I schedule things, and I know that sometimes it feels more chaotic when your calendar looks really busy, but if you actually put those, like a couple classes that are non-negotiable for me, I have to take those classes during the week. They're in my calendar, so nothing else can get booked on either side of it. I think one-on-one time with my kids really feeds me a lot, and I think it's really important for them. And I schedule that time in to make sure that I'm spending time with them and quality time on an individual basis. And the meditation, I usually do it before I go to bed, so you're always going to go to bed, right?
Always.
Fit it in there. But I think, really scheduling the important things in your life is something that I find to really help me take care of myself.
That's great. I'm going to have to work on that myself. Time management is tricky, especially when you're an entrepreneur. But I think that's a great tip to actually schedule in. I think a lot of people also need date nights with their significant other when they're parents, because otherwise you lose that connection because everything else becomes more important.
Yeah.
And Enid, what about you? Any special tips or tricks that you want to leave with everyone?
Yes. So just like Jill, I have to get my workout in every day, no matter what. And even if it's that simple, even if I just have 8 to 10 minutes, I feel that at least 8 minutes is better than nothing. Mm-hmm. So you can always find something on YouTube, on Jill's online system. There are so many workouts that you can subscribe to for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I know not everyone's a runner, but that is the most important. And I actually implement baths, which there's 7 bathrooms in my house, and all my kids use my bathtub because it's amazing. And I found that for the longest time, I was not using it. And I was like, I need to change this. And so I started just factoring that in. At least twice a week, I have me time with my bath salts, and I just chill and meditate in the tub.
Hey, it's important though. There's nothing like being in some warm water and just letting the stress melt away, right?
Yes.
And I will say my favorite thing, or the thing that I started implementing about a year ago, was charging my phone at night in another room.
So good.
And
so good.
And the moment I made that shift, so for me it's in the kitchen, which is on another floor. And it was so important because it was too easy when I heard a vibration or heard a little ding or whatever sound.
Or you wake up in the middle of the night to go get a glass of water.
To go and check your phone, and to really, it just wakes up everything. The wheels start turning, you don't let go. And it's really important that first thing in the morning, I let go of checking my phone and started checking in with my body.
Yeah.
And I pretty much roll out of bed and get on the floor and almost start doing a little bit of yoga every morning, because it's good to unlock those things that maybe got a little locked even though you were relaxed and sleeping.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
We did have another question come in. Are there any mantras that you ladies use in your day-to-day life? And Jill, I think it's really important that we touch on what a mantra is. So would you mind sharing that?
Yeah, I mean, a mantra, we actually do, with the Dailey Method, we do a word of the month. So every month we have kind of an internal focus of words that we're using in our classes and in our messaging. And it's really just something that takes you, connects you with a feeling or something that you are desiring. And my mantra changes pretty frequently, kind of depending on where I am in my life. Right now I have two that I do back to back, and it's grace and gratitude. And so grace is really like how I want to show up in my relationships and in my life. And gratitude helps me so much because things go wrong a lot. There's problems a lot. And if I can constantly bring it back to like what I'm grateful for, there's always something to be grateful for in any situation.
Absolutely.
So,
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And what about you, Enid?
So mine doesn't change. It's always the same. Trust the universe. It will provide if you allow it to.
You have to let go.
Yeah.
Yes, which is hard for me. So that's why it's my mantra.
It's hard for most moms because most moms are, kind of control freaks because they want to control what's going on, especially with their children or their children's lives. And that bleeds into the rest of the world, right? So it's beautiful to be able to let go.
Yeah.
So just a friendly reminder, everyone, we're just a few minutes away from our very last giveaway. So if you would like to win the Wildflower Immunity vape pen, this is a CBD hemp-based vape pen, be sure to drop us a line, let us know that you're watching, share our page on your social media, that way others can also learn about the benefits of CBD and self-care. But before we announce our last winner, ladies, thank you both so much for being here. Jill, where can people find you and where can they learn more about what you're doing with the Dailey Method?
Yeah, well, you can go to thedaileymethod.com, and it's Dailey, and find out a lot of information. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's Jill Dailey, or Dailey Method too on Instagram.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Enid, would you also mind sharing a little bit more, because I know we touched on everything, but where can people also find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the EV Social, at Hampton's Moms, and at Culturally Beautiful Podcast. And please check out the podcast and subscribe. It's on all the podcast platforms.
And it's a really interesting podcast. Why don't you tell everybody kind of what the premise of the podcast is?
So it's basically two Latina women that look white and debunking societal myths and norms.
I love that. It's so amazing to actually have that conversation.
Yes.
So it's something that a lot of people can relate to. So everyone, before we close out, we just want to remind you all that our bundle is available on HelloMD.com. It's available for 30% off through Sunday. It comes with the Wildflower Vape Pen, our Vertly Lip Balm, as well as the Juna Tincture. So if you're looking for some real self-care that you can really bring home and enjoy in the privacy of your own home, go ahead and go to HelloMD.com and order this for yourself or that special someone in your life. And it looks like our last winner is in. So congratulations to Sandina. We're so excited to get you the Wildflower Immunity Vape Pen. So congratulations. So we're really excited to get this to you so that you can also take better care of yourself so you can take care of others, right?
Yeah.
So ladies, thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's been awesome sharing this space with you. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to tune in next week where we're going to be talking about CBD and anxiety, something that I think all of us can relate to. So once again, check us out on hellomd.com and drop us a line and let us know what you thought of the show. Thank you.